As of recording this video right now, the Gen Like the Game YouTube series will be uploading the premiere of Season 15 Tag All Stars on YouTube next Wednesday. Okay, well, if you have Nebula, then it's on right now, but a lot of us are too poor to have it, so we'll have to wait an additional 3 days. I'm actually quite excited for Tag All Stars. So we see in Tag All Stars that they play the game in Northwestern Europe. So not specifically, mainly like in this area. However, I see on the subreddit and just general fans giving like many other destinations for a potential Jet Lag the Game series. So this video is basically about like the places where they could go to film a season. Now, first things first, we have to actually map out the places they've been already. Now, there are like many seasons where they went to multiple places. Season 2 was circumnavigation around the world, and season 13 they played around the entire Schengen area rather than just a random circle in northwestern Europe. But things that for those two seasons there wasn't really any specific focus on one country, and what the fan base would really like is like a season dedicated just to that country. So because of that, I'm not really going to count on the map the times they went to the countries for like broader World Series is just once. So like Denmark, Singapore, Hungary, all them. I'm not going to include them in the list of countries who have had a full season. So America, they've had 1, 4, and 8, and also kind of this northwestern Europe bit. We're gonna have 3 seasons of them, so may as well just put all of them aside. Then also Japan, we've had season 6 and 12. South Korea season 14. Australia season 10. New Zealand season 5, and actually Switzerland season 9. And also the UK. Obviously, season 16 hasn't released yet, but and we have seen on the crew's social medias that it will be hide and seek across the UK they'll be playing. So yeah, I'm actually quite happy that they're going to the UK because, well, I mean, it's my home country, so naturally I'll be happy them visiting a place close to home. So we got that list out of the way. Now we can actually identify the places which will make an ideal Jet Lag the Game season in the future. Let's use orange for this. Alright, so one thing which I just want to clarify and just talk about, like, right out of the way, are multi-country seasons, where they go to multiple different countries. Many people seem to like that. I would, but however, I don't think that's feasible. The only times when it is feasible would be when it's a Schengen zone, because, well, it's a Schengen. They have only one like visa system, so Sam, Ben, Adam, and the guest would only need to apply for one work visa. Because remember, they're technically doing this as a job, so they can't. They have to apply for paperwork beforehand. So if they do a multi-country season, then that means they would have to get too many visas, like, too much bureaucracy. It's safe to assume that unless it's in the Schengen zone, a multi-country season will never happen. Alright, so now let's go through the places which could have an individual season. The first place, which many people love suggesting, is Canada. I mean, the main flaw of Canada is obviously the public transport. It's not really that good, so it would have to be a plain season. But even with that, we see that the population densities are like very concentrated along the American border, so it's going to be like a very linear style of play. And even with like if they do like an Australia-based season where they like fly to different states and try to collect them, then it's still going to be like very linear. The East would be bit more interesting. However, a possibility which could happen is that they could do a merged America-Canada season, and well, as all three are Native American citizens, they won't have to worry about paperwork from multiple countries. So, I mean, a combined America-Canada season could work. Well, obviously that would depend on their Canada work visa if it's like single entry, multi-entry, and how and all like all the complications with that. Other than that, yeah, I would see potential in a future Canada season. Now, let's go here to Europe. So the UK was something already suggested a lot, but um, they they've done it. Um, Italy, actually, a country they play tag yeah, tag 3, they decided to switch up the location. And, well, it wasn't just Italy, but it was basically like just Italy. One time in Slovenia, the time above the end was in Switzerland. Other than that, it was basically just an Italy season. Yeah, I could potentially see like a north to south race, from like Turin, Milan, Venice, something like that, all the way down to like the south. Like maybe like Vatican, San Marino, those two can maybe like Malta's an end destination. Like a race across Italy season could actually work, in my opinion. Or the things that I haven't really seen it like suggested that much. However, one country which has been suggested quite a lot is Spain, and yeah, I do see it. Like Spain has got probably one of the best train networks in the world. So yeah, I suppose maybe the season there could work. However, things that I'm not really too sure what the game mode would be, mainly because like how the railway system is like very centered around Madrid, and then there it kind of just like spiders out, and maybe that they could include Portugal or Andorra along the way. Another place where people like is Southeast Asia. They like to see like a Southeast Asian season as with like Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand. These countries mainly get thrown out a lot. I also saw Taiwan. Yeah, something which I saw which was quite interesting was that they could play Monopoly across Taiwan. I don't really think they're gonna make a season based upon a board game which already exists. They only did that kind of thing once, and that was with season 1 when they played Connect 4 across America. But like, I mean that's season 1, so we can't really judge it too much. Yeah, I don't really see the boys doing a game mode inspired um, upon like an already existing game because they probably would think it like loses the jet lag spirit almost. Like I believe season 5 in New Zealand, their original plan was to make it sort of like a video game esque um game, but they started to scrap that because they thought it wasn't like jet lag enough. They eventually made some changes and it ended up being the Australia season. So I mean, yeah, that's a plus. Oh yeah, one thing which I'd like to add, I remember hearing two countries which they said they would explicitly not go to, and those two, China and India. The reason why they explicitly said China, India, well, obviously because they've got a lot of people, so there'll be a lot of demand for a season with them. But they said that the reason why they would never do a season there was because all like the bureaucracy, the filming permits, stuff like that, work visas. It's like too much of a hassle. So a season there would never happen. Oh yeah, back on the Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand thing. I haven't really heard of a specific game mode. Maybe like an entire Southeast Asian game. I mean, again, like it will have to include a lot of countries, a lot of paperwork. So something which I could see as potential like race from Chiang Mai all the way down to Singapore. That could work. I mean, I checked Thailand's railway network. It does extend all along down to like Phuket and southern area, but I'm not too sure what the frequencies are. Another thing which I saw was a potential like Central European season, like tag across Central Europe. That I do see that happening. I would like to see a game mode like that happen. Like Poland, Czechia, Slovakia, Hungary, Austria, maybe like Liechtenstein if they get, probably won't, but oh well. We never know what they can do. Yeah, I could. That's probably like one of the more probable scenarios. Another thing which I'd like to add are the Nordics. So Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Finland. Not I wouldn't really consider Iceland. It's kind of too far away from it all, and public transport's basically non-existent there, so we can pretty much rule them out. Yeah, I'd say a potential Nordic season. I'm not sure how that would work out. Might That's Oslo here, Copenhagen, Stockholm, maybe Helsinki. Yeah, I'd say we could. Oh, so one thing which I have seen is like the Baltics. We could do like a race across the Baltics. Again, like not a bad shout. Not too sure how the public transport is. I'm pretty sure there's a plan for like a high speed rail, like Rail Baltica, I think. So maybe in a few years when that's complete, it's good. And also, I'm talking a lot about tags seasons and races, but and also like the collection states. But one thing which I have not talked about yet is hide and seek. And hide and seek generally works in one main country. So Switzerland, Japan, UK be good. But there are many like other good shouts for a hide and seek season. There's one place which I saw someone suggest, which actually makes a lot of sense, but that due to like the current political climate, I don't see it happening. Israel. I'm gonna pull up Israel's rail map right now, and it actually does seem like very good for a season of hide and seek. You know, like there's a center there around Tel Aviv, maybe around Haifa as well. Tons of lines which go out elsewhere. But the main problem is like the politics and all like their conflicts in Gaza, like the general safety. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't really see it. And one thing which I did see is a Greece season where they could use the islands for something, and maybe like some coastal areas like Athens, Piraeus, that area, and Thessaloniki. Yeah, I it could be good. Like it's gonna be nice seeing a ferry season. We've never seen. I didn't know. We've seen boats before. Yeah, we've seen a few boats, but like actual ferry season, that would actually be quite interesting. Indonesia, like a potential race with like not race like a collection with all the islands. That is a another good possibility. But again, like with Israel, I'm not too sure how exactly safe they would feel in Indonesia. I'm pretty sure they have very strict conditions on countries they'll go to. So yeah, other than that, I don't really see anywhere else in like the entire continent of Asia, Africa as well. Maybe we'll say we wanted like an African season. However, I don't really see it. Maybe they could do somewhere like Morocco, maybe, but again, safety concerns. That's gonna be an issue. Like the safe countries, either their public transport is not good enough. So Botswana, Namibia, these areas. I think also like Zambia's one is like okay, but frequencies are like a few times a week, so that that won't be considered. And also like Rwanda's public transport, like rail transport, surprisingly very bad considering the increasing reputation of the country. Also, like Ghana, like it's safe. Like all these countries I'm suggesting are like probably the safest options, but yeah, with Ghana, they actually do have a small network in the south, but not too sure how good any of these African countries they want to do is sub-Saharan African countries I mentioned they want to do a season. It would probably either have to be a flying-based season. Well, okay, well, Rwanda's too small, so they can't do flying-based season. Where mainly for like the larger countries here, or it could be they could use cars or like jeeps or whatever. Where I mean, Ghana, I'm not too sure about the safety in Ghana, especially up north. Yeah, Namibia, Botswana, Zambia, car safety is good. Good, like in the outback, like the outback in this area, you're more likely to die from like an animal attack. So it could work, but yeah, again, like we're very limited for opportunities, or especially also the disease risk. Some of these countries they require like a yellow fever vaccine, which can increase bureaucracy even more. And then one last place, Latin America. Some people suggest the Mexico season. I mean, yeah, I could see like Mexico, it, as long as you avoid the cartel areas. I mean, it very well much could be safe enough. They actually went to Cancun circumnavigation, so I mean, could be okay. I did see a suggestion for like South America, Chile, Argentina, Brazil. Brazil, yeah, Brazil's gonna be too dangerous. Chile is actually quite a good shout. From Iquique to Puerto Montt, between those two, doing like a race season could be is good. But things like Chile is it's a very linear country. Like, there's only like one main line going through it all. So really, it's going to be like it's not really going to be a good race season, pretty much. Argentina, I mean, it's a bit thick. It's thicker, so yeah. But like again, like, I don't really see any potential unless they do like unless they cook up some car-based season. But even with that, like Argentina's like way too big for cars. Other than that, I don't really see it too likely. So yeah, that's basically the video done. Hope you guys liked it. Just bye, I guess.